How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with some more end-of-year best beers of 2015 goodness. Running down all my favorite beers I reviewed this year, not beers that I had, but beers that I reviewed, and doing it by style and then overall and a bunch of different categories. So today, or I should say this episode, we are going over my favorite wild tart sour beers. I'm going to lump that all in one category just because that's what I feel like doing. So here we go. Probably going to see some shit floating up around here. Graphic-wise, that's why I'm sitting off kilter. If not, then it's a weird video. Anyway, let's do this. We're going to go top 5 on this one. I've done top 5s, top 10s. I'm going to do top 20s and all kinds of stuff. This one's getting the top 5. Number 5 on my top 5 wild sour tart beers of this year was Boulevard's Telltale Tart. Definitely a wild beer. Verging on tart, definitely not sour. Just really dug it for its crushability. It was sent to me by Boulevard. I reviewed it, and like I said, I've reviewed all these beers. These are the ones I reviewed, and just did it for me. It was just something about it. Worked. I had it probably about the end of summer, closer to like September. I thought, man, this is really good, and I actually made this list. And I did my radio show on Sunday, and the guy who brings the beers for the radio show ended up bringing the Telltale Tart, and I hadn't had it since then. And I drank it again, and I go, okay, now I know why I have it on my list, because it was super crushable for me. Not a huge sour guy, so this list might be a little bit not super intense for a lot of people out there, but these are my top ones. So that was number 5. Number 4, Dry Leg is Crew, which is an old ale, a wild yeast-based old ale. I really enjoyed the beer in its newness, I guess you would say, but I really enjoyed what I imagine it's going to be. I know it's kind of weird to say that, but just a really cool take on an old ale, throwing that wild yeast in there and kind of getting a lot of those wild old ale notes, but at the same time knowing that, okay, this beer is going to change by month and by year. So I have a few of them sitting around, so hopefully do some re-reviews on that one and see how she tracks. That's my number 4. Number 3 was Goza, actually. It was Grim Brewing, their Super Symmetry. I believe was it a Goza? Or was it a Berliner Weiss? Again, I'm misremembering a lot of shit probably in a lot of these, only because I'm not going to go back and rehash every review I did. But I just really dug that fucking beer. It was super clean, super refreshing, exactly... No, it was a Goza, because I remember it being exactly what I wanted a Goza to be, not overtly Americanized version of a Goza. It just had that ever so slightest salinity to it, but at the same time it had a really nice rich tartness just south of puckering and just really bright, refreshing, and exactly what I wanted to drink, regardless of season, because I'm not a seasonal guy, but it definitely spoke of summer to me, even though I drank it more in the winter. So that's my number 3. Number 2, so fucking good. My number 2 and number 1 were battling back and forth. I didn't know where to put them. So these should probably be 1A and 1B. Tied for first, but I don't want to do that. So let's go number 2. It is Distille's Deca Reserva Excommunique Sour Quad. This is a beer that was sent to me by Distille. They sent it to me. I got it. I pulled it out, and they said, a sour quad. Okay, we'll see what happens with this one. 2013, nonetheless, and I was like, I sat on it, I think, for about a month. And I said, you know what? I'm kind of in the mood for a sour. I've been sitting on this for about a month. I'm like, I'm going to give it a whirl. Fucking blew my titties off. It was that fucking good. It was a quad that was sour, but not overly enamel-ripping, acidic sour. That's not my gig. It did have some of those notes to it, but enough to just give you enough to kind of like, you know, instead of just being a whore and showing you the whole thing, flashing you the titties in the box and the whole nine, showing you a little leg and pull it back kind of deal, and just had enough sour, like strong, big, bold sour notes in places to kind of keep what I believe a lot of like sour junkies happy, but at the same time having enough of that still a Belgian quad kind of soul to it, because Distill makes very fantastic Belgian beers. in general. So to have that kind of soul still built into it was really cool to play off of. You were getting those bready, caramelly kind of, datey figgy notes in it, but you're still getting those kind of sour, slightly acidic notes off it too. It was just really cool fucking beer. And yeah, dug it immensely. And my number one, another dry leg beer, it was their Plague. I actually went down to Pittsburgh to do just hang out and talk with Dennis from Dry Leg. And they were doing a release of this beer. I didn't go down for a release. I went down because the release is going on. I figured I might kill two birds with one stone. But I was like, okay, they're doing a release. I'll go down there. And it ended up being one of the bitter beers I've had from them, if not the best. It was a sour stout, Belgian-inspired sour stout, wild, because all they do is wild beers. More wild than sour. Aged in wood and a bunch of stuff going on. I believe it had berries. I couldn't, off the top of my head, I'm not forgetting, but I know I am forgetting. That's why I'm not saying what the fuck I'm supposed to be saying. But it was basically, this is what it tastes like. It tastes like a rich, darker berry, like a raspberry or a darker berried Coca-Cola with tart notes in it, which was absolutely fucking fantastic. It's a really cool beer from a really cool brewery, and yeah, just kind of, that's my kind of sour. Like, if you watched a lot of my reviews, a lot of times I'm not a huge sour guy. I even said it in this breakdown here. But if that's how sours are, then I'm a sour guy, because that was not a good or delicious sour. That was a good or delicious beer, regardless of style. So there you go. As you hear the rain falling outside, probably. It rained in late December, too. We haven't had snow here yet in Northeast PA, which is fucking weird. Anyway, that's my top 5 sour tart wild beers, with Dry Legs, The Plague coming in number 1. That's awesome beers across the board. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the breakdown. If you did or you didn't, or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. And tell me what you thought was good and what you thought was bad, or tell me what you thought was good and bad about what I did this year with beers, sours in general, or just beers in general. And communicate, because that's pretty fucking awesome. Because I'm having a good time doing this whole review thing, and I'm getting a good response, so I can't wait to keep going. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this breakdown. Hopefully you have enjoyed some of these beers. If not, get on it and seek some out and enjoy them, and enjoyed the year of me reviewing, and hopefully you see you next time. Cheers.